She slept with her boss at work so many times and went ahead to marry her boss' best friend. Wait, let me explain. This lady is from Ghana. She was born into a family of 4. She has 2 elder brothers. She's the 3rd born. And yeah, she has a little brother. Their dad was in fact a very nice man. He was a mechanic and he wasn't so rich, but he made sure that the family had their daily bread. Their father got sick in 2017 with some disease even doctors couldn't treat it. And then he passed away when this lady was 16 years old. This was in 2017. When the father died, the family had to relocate to another place in Ghana. Things became so hard for the mother that she could hardly even feed the children. So this 16-year-old lady had to help the mother in sewing and selling clothes, children's clothes. Sometimes she'd go even to a different city just to sell these clothes. Yeah, because they need the money. Until one particular market day, she was coming back from making sales and she met this man that claimed to have interest in buying clothes for his daughter, but he wanted it to be a perfect size, so she followed him home. She was desperate to make sales, not knowing it was a trap. Yes, well, you guess what happened. It was so terrible she got cut all over her private part. When this lady got home, she told her mother, who in turn took her to the police station. They made a police statement, took some police with them, went to the place. Unfortunately, this man had fled. He ran away from that place. Even his neighbors confirmed he lives there, but they hardly see him anymore. So they gathered some information and left. But in order for the police to continue investigating, they asked this woman's mother for 500 cedis. Where will she get 500 cedis? But as a mother, she was hurt, so she called a particular man. That man has always been helpful to the family, so she called the man over to their house. The man came. This young lady had even cooked for everyone to eat. So at a point, the mother stepped out and told the young lady to please narrate every single thing to the man, so in the least he would know why they needed the money. Well, after finishing the plate of food and hearing all the 16-year-old girl's gist, the man was like, I'll give you guys the money, but I want my turn. Oh yeah, he wants to sleep with the 16-year-old girl too. The lady was shocked because this is supposed to be a father figure, a helper for the family. Now he wants to sleep with her in her mother's room. She couldn't believe it, so she ran out of the house. She stayed outside until the mother came back. Well, the lady was quiet about it back then, but inside of her, she vowed never to ask for anything from this so-called family helper again. Now she's asking God why. Why me? Should I just end it and be at peace? Not knowing this is just the beginning. Later on, she got into a school named SHS. She dated a lot of guys, well, and slept with almost half of them. Yes, she normally just squeezed as much money as possible out of them and on to the next one. That happened until this particular guy that she met, they fell in love. Everybody, students, teachers knew about their romance. It was the talk of the campus. But then when they finished from school, things became a little bit hard. Because yes, she's from a poor background. This guy is also from a poor background, so they all had to go make ends meet. So reality set in and there was little time for romance. So they started looking for jobs until this lady found a particular job that redesigned her life. It is a printing press shop which a friend of hers helped get a job there. So she started working there. This printing press is located close to a school, so a lot of times female teachers come over to their place. Oh yes, they bring a lot of jobs for them. Well, she caught the eye of this particular man and they kept asking her out and she agreed. They started dating. This man, however, was married with 2 kids. During the dating process, this lady started having issues with her mom. Please note, that is the only parent she has left. The mom is always complaining now. Why are you always staying late? You close from work early, but you're always coming home late into the night. The mother was giving her all sorts of drama and it was affecting her at work. The boss notices this one day and was like, come to my office, sit down, what is wrong? Now this lady narrated everything to the boss. Oh yeah, it's about the teacher that she's dating and how it's making her relationship with her mother worse. Now the boss told this lady a story of his own childhood just to let her understand things very well. Anyway, this story got both of them close, really close, such that a lot of people in the office are starting to think, are these guys dating? Well, the answer is yes. because one thing indeed led to another. This lady and her boss started going to hotels. In fact, a whole lot of times is right there in the office. Damn. So at this time, this lady is dating 3 people. She's dating her boss, she's dating the married teacher, and yeah, she's dating the high school lover. Things kept going fine to the point that our boss wife loves her so much because the boss wife is pregnant. So this lady is always helping her, get groceries, go to the markets, and at the same time help her service her husband. So fast forward to one Sunday, the lady was helping with the normal chores. Then this lady heard her boss telling his wife that he's expecting a very special guest, one of his friends. Mind you, by that time, the boss wife had given birth to a baby girl. Anyway, a few hours later, this handsome young man came knocking the door. This lady went to open the door. She saw the man, tall looking, handsome. She was running all over her body. She couldn't help it. Like, she must have been salivating like what? And at the same time, this guy was also like, because if you see this lady, man, she's a beautiful girl too. So yes, they both found each other attractive. In fact, this lady was praying in her heart, say, God, I beg, if you give me this guy, I will not look at any other guy again, I promise. Well, the prayer got answered because this guy was like, I must get your number. They exchanged numbers and it's no time. They started dating. They started talking and boom, marriage. This guy wants to marry her. Didn't she just hit the jackpot? A man of her dreams that she's fully attracted to and that has been loving her back deeply in return. Now saying he wants to marry her? What? In what world is she not going to say yes? So yeah, of course she said yes. But no, her mother did not. This lady's mother was like, they are Christians, the guy is a Muslim, and what she knows about Muslims is they domesticate their wives too much, yada yada yada. So this lady had to go through that phase of trying to convince the mother. At a point, it turned to fighting the mother. Long story short, she had to go look for her father's family members, who now gave them permission to go ahead and marry, because there's no way in this world she's going to lose this guy because of religion. 2 weeks after their marriage, the Muslim guy traveled to Germany, according to their plan anyway. So she was just supposed to come meet him a few months after that. Oh, but the embassy gave her quite a tough time. So weeks turned to months, months turned to like almost a year. So this time around, the embassy was asking this lady for a new passport. And since the husband is not around, he told the wife that, okay, why don't you go to my friend's place, who is the boss? Yeah, to go stay there for a few days because the boss wife is pregnant again and she's having some complications, so she's at the hospital. So this lady now was going there just to be of help. Please note, now she's going there as a married woman. Anyway, this lady went there on a Friday. She was supposed to go back to her husband's house on Saturday, I think, but she couldn't leave the baby girl alone because no, the baby daughter didn't go with the mother to the hospital. So long story short, she had to stay there for a few extra days because at this point, the boss wife is more like her sister. On a Saturday morning, this lady went to the hospital, oh yeah, to give food to the boss wife. On her way back from there, she met the teacher, the married teacher with 2 kids, the one she was dating when she first got to the printing press, the one that affected her relationship with her mother that gave her boss an opening. Well, she met this same married teacher on her way and the guy was like, oh please, we should talk, let's just sit down somewhere and talk. So they found like a restaurant, sat down and talked, and the teacher went on and on telling her how she looks good, why she needs to have a man there in Ghana. I mean, the husband now is all the way in Germany and he knows she likes sex so much, like, so how's she going to cope? Well, after saying all that, the woman waited, sat down, listened to everything, but as she was leaving the place, she deleted and blocked the guy. Then she bought some KFC for the boss daughter. So later in the night, when the boss came back home from work, it was just them in the house. So she was gisting with the man that, oh, on my way back from your wife today, guess who I met? It was also a man who was telling me all this rubbish, blah blah blah. Now the boss, knowing that there was some history between both of them, didn't believe the lady told her all the story. He felt they probably had something that she didn't tell him. Anyway, they all went to bed. Around 1 or 2 a.m. in the midnight, this lady felt someone touching her while she's sleeping. Oh yes, it was the boss, her husband's best friend. He wants to sleep with her. This lady got up so scared, she ran into the bathroom, locked herself behind the door. She never expected it from this man. Well, yeah, they had a thing back then, but now she's married to his best friend. Does this man want to spoil my life? That's all she could think. Anyway, after like 1 hour, she came out and the man had left. She couldn't even sleep for the remaining of the night. She was so disturbed that she had to message the husband and tell him what happened. The husband was like, the first sunrise you see, pack your bags and get out of that place. And she did. That was where everything went south. Apparently, telling the husband now made things worse because the husband, after confronting the friend, got to know they've been sleeping together like back then. But here's the problem. The lady never told him. The husband was broken inside. He was disappointed. He couldn't trust her anymore because in the beginning he asked, but she was afraid. So she lied because she just wanted everything to die down. She never wanted anything to take that guy away from her. At first, the boss was lying. Like, no, this lady was sleeping on the floor. I was just trying to carry her on the bed in the middle of the night. Lamba. But of course, who will buy that? So everybody knew what was happening. In fact, the boss' pregnant wife got to know about it too. This lady just lost the entire set of people that she has as a family, because even our real family, they're starting to turn their backs on her because the husband had called them all. Everybody was disappointed. Her husband in Germany is now having doubts about her coming over to join him over there. She's afraid. This man is her future. She does not want to lose him. She loves him so much, but she knows she's messed up. How can she fix it? What can she do?